What have we got for y'all today? A little tech tip for you guys. That's a wrap for this King episode on the TT Bugs package, and I need to get back to work. Even though I don't want to leave this place, they also hooked it up with some gear for all the boys, and yeah, it's an exciting step for sure. What have we got for y'all today? King Shocks. That's what's up. They make the big bumps feel small. So I got a little special something for them. It's brushed aluminum portrait that Josh shot of Megalodon with the Kings, and it is flossy. It's a pretty big print that I'm gonna give to Brett today, because we are picking up trophy truck shocks for the bug. I'm also dropping off my class 11 shocks for the next race as well. So we're gonna drop these off, get these all serviced and done up, new rubbers and new fluids. All the uniballs feel pretty tight still, but still probably just replace all of it. That way it's all fresh and new for this the rest of this season, this year, etc. Well, I got a fat stack of cash that is what it is, but we're getting rid of some funds today in order to pick up, what up dude, to pick up some goodies. So let's find these peeps and then kind of go from there and see what we're working with. Boom. Little look inside the
I'm gonna
things.
put these orders in right now, and I will I'll email them to you. I'll email them to you so you can check them and see, and then just make sure everything looks good, and we'll go from there.
Huh. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got it, man. Have a good one.
The man Brett himself is busy in his office right now, but I caught a little glimpse of the shocks over there on a bench, and I'm super excited. What was that, dude?
My ringtone.
Your ringtone? What was that?
Also calling.
Sick. You guys been busy, eh?
Super busy, man.
That's good.
Super busy.
People are trying to make the bumps small, man.
Here, pick up your coils.
And bypass for the big
They're
bad,
done?
the big bad TT bug. I seen him sitting out there, and Brett
let's go
sent
find
me.
him.
You want to go find him? Well, he's finishing up what he's got going. Let's do it. I also brought you guys a pretty sick little brushed aluminum print. We'll let him finish that. Let's go peep these things out.
Yeah. Let me give you 1 second. I gotta make this call.
Okay, handle it. Uh-oh, he's coming out. What do you think, dude?
That's a cool shot right there.
Do you like it? It's on brushed aluminum, so it gives you like a little different.
Yeah, it was like
metallic-y.
cool.
So yeah, that's the brushed aluminum that they originally
Where did I
painted
get
on.
one? I have one somewhere that Renazetter got me. It was that one in the front office.
Oh yeah, that one's
See that?
sweet.
That's on aluminum.
Awesome.
Right? That's cool.
So yeah, you just screw this wedge into the wall, and then that wedge hits this wedge, and then boom, that's it. So that was a little thank you present I had kind of made that I wanted one of them, so I said, heck, I'm gonna ring another
you
one.
just put one of these on the wall and it just sits on the wedge.
Yep.
Huh? I like it.
Yep, so it's nice and tight and up against the wall. But
I like it.
we got some shocks here ready.
I have shocks ready for you, yes sir.
Do you have time to go through it right now?
I have time to go through it, yes.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Oh yeah, this is an exciting day. This is like every kid's dream, man. These guys are busy as can be, and I am so pumped to see these. Holy moly. Uh-oh.
Right here on this part of the yard.
Ooh. Dang. These are big bad boys right here.
These are all the rears, and then all the fronts, or all the rest of them.
Oh. All 3.0 coilovers.
Get all these. Hey,
What's up, dude?
How you doing, man? How you been?
Cruising, Jeff. How are you?
Yeah, I got a cart. I'll be right back.
Okay. Dang. The Kongs. Oh my, these are big boys.
These are all the rest of the shocks right here. These are the front coilovers, and then these are the front bypasses and rear bypasses. So.
Well, we got a little hot streak going. We are now 6 out of the last 7 races that we've won the Class 11 stuff. We're starting to hurt some feelings. I'm sorry. But
Yeah, you start getting protested.
we've been having really good luck, but so I think now moving on to this, we're gonna
Next step.
next step. But so this is basically the King Kongs, the 4.4 4.5 bypasses. These are, how many tubes did we go
They're
with?
18, 17,
How many tubes did we go with?
17.
7 tubes. So there's a ton of adjustability for compression and rebound. And roughly what kind of oil capacity would you say that these shocks have?
Each shock holds about a gallon and a half.
Gallon and a half of oil.
Yeah,
I
about a
think
gallon.
I think all.
So you think about changing the oil on your shocks, and it's legit 10 gallons. It's like it takes 10 gallons of oil just to change your oil
and
on your shocks.
the funny thing about the Class 11 shocks is it probably takes half a gallon
Correct.
for all 4 shocks.
10, when you use 10 gallons just to change your shock
Oh
oil. If
man.
you think about it, it's like if you would look at your car and how much engine oil, shock oil, tranny oil, it's like, yeah, you probably got 30, 40 gallons just in
Fluids.
oil, in oil,
Yeah, it's crazy.
right? Just in oil, yeah, it's crazy. Rear end oil, it's like it takes a lot.
I don't know about y'all out there watching this, but this has always been a dream to get to this level of ours with the biggest, baddest shocks in the market, and I'm so pumped for this. So once we get these on, we're gonna go testing and tuning with Aribe, who is King's tuner and tester. And you guys do basically every Wednesday or by appointment in Barstow?
Usually not every Wednesday, but most. Sometimes
Wednesdays.
we go on a Tuesday, like if there's a race a little earlier in the day, or
Yeah.
like maybe they have qualifying on Wednesdays. Sometimes we'll go on Tuesdays. So usually a Tuesday or Wednesday. Wednesday's most common.
So if you set it up with King and make sure that Aribe is out there, they'll help dial your shocks in, and that's like a complimentary thing for new
Yeah,
customers, old customers alike.
We've never charged, right? Since in 25 years, I've never charged a customer to go test their suspension. So
25 years.
It gives us an opportunity to work on the customer's car, and it's to get it close, right? If the springs are a little off, and we can make small adjustments to it to get it really close for the customer. And it also gives us that opportunity for someone, let's say, who buys shocks from us and he's complaining it doesn't work. It's easy for the sales department to say, we go out testing on Wednesday, we'll drive your car, we'll help you, and we show up with a full workshop on wheels, right? So we can do whatever we want to shocks. It has probably 200 coil springs in the trailer, multiple workbenches, spring compressors, and basically anything you could possibly do to a shock that doesn't require machine work, we can do.
That's customer service through thick and thin right there, and something that we're going to be taking advantage of with the TT bug.
Yeah.
That might require some special attention on an off day, but we'll be sure to show that with you guys too. These guys are located in Garden Grove. They've been a SoCal-based business since day one.
Born and raised in Garden Grove since 1969.
A lot of these parts are made here, or everything's pretty much made here in America, right?
Yep.
Everything's made in America.
Made here. We
And-
design it, machine it right here, weld it right here at the shop. package it, sell it.
Okay. That's another thing. I just got so sidetracked by looking at these shocks. What do you think the total shock package on this thing's gonna weigh with 12 shocks per vehicle?
Well, with the coils on them, you know, the coils are, I mean, there's at least 70, 80, 75 pounds of coils on each shock.
Yeah.
So
These reservoirs are massive. So is there also a
I
reason?
would say you have probably 400 pounds of shocks.
400 pounds of shocks?
I would say around, yeah, right at about 400 pounds.
4.0s for the fronts. And those are also, those are 6.2?
Those right there are, I think those are,
Oh, now you find one.
those are 5.2 bypass piggyback.
5.2 piggyback bypass for the front.
With the low port to give you clearance.
Yep,
Right, to give you clearance up here, we built them with the low port.
correct.
So they have the attached reservoir. And they are built to the drawing that you supplied us. So
With rotation, with where the tube layout's gonna be.
correct. And then if we need to make some small adjustments to them, we can make small adjustments to them.
So
We can rotate the tops, or you know, if we need something a little bit done a little bit differently to them, we can. So we'll know this is the first car you're building like this, and once we get the spec sheet ironed out on it, then it'll be easier in the future. So all you gotta do is, hey, I need another set of shocks, and we have all the specs.
Yep, it's a beautiful thing. So everything's logged, easily duplicatable or easy adjusted on the fly. I know we worked with their engineering department and Jorge, and got the models of the shocks with the bypass layout, with the reservoir layout and everything, to where it should work flawlessly in the chassis. So we're gonna put those to the test hopefully very soon here, either this week or next week, and start cycling some stuff to make sure that we can move forward safely and time efficiently. So here's the drawing that we were supplied, and that we are able to double check and make sure that our rotations and clearances weren't going to be an issue prior to proceeding with anything.
Yeah, it's a good starting point.
Okay.
Right. Sometimes it looks good on the computer, but then when you put it up there, you got to make adjustments.
Perfect. And there's things we can do, such as, you know, I guess not really shortening the reservoir too much, or tube layouts. It's kind of almost like cross your fingers.
It'll be good.
It'll be good.
If not, my job is to make it good.
That's
Right.
If
we need
so
to build
awesome.
a different shock, we'll build a different shock. It's that simple.
Customer service right
And
there.
it's literally that simple.
So they've
We're
moved.
usually pretty good if someone makes a mistake, that we'll make it good on it. We'll make it good for them.
So
We're good like that.
you guys have moved into the OEM side of things like pretty heavily. So like, even if you want to work your way up to shocks like this, and you have a Chevy or a Toyota, a Ford, the OEM replacement shocks that they've made for many years has started to really, I guess, take off. And I'm excited to see, you know, friends or just people on the street avidly rocking Kings. It's like, obviously the culture is growing, and I think they're one of the top tier shocks. So if you're in the market for your first set of Kings, check out their website. Yeah, it's awesome. But Kings growing up, always when we were younger, were the hot commodity. They still are, and I don't think I'd rather work with anyone but you guys here at King.
No, thank you.
The man, the myth, the legend. We're gonna be making the big bumps small again, as I've said, but this is a whole nother realm of things compared to what we're used to. So it's gonna be a learning experience. I'm excited to share with you guys that journey. They have rows and rows of parts here, rows and rows of shocks. What do you got? GM right there with adjusters? Oh, those are for me?
I think you have an order for him.
Oh, heck yeah. I think those are for my boy Nick Breon.
Let me get the order up and see what we got.
Heck yeah. Nick, I'm bringing you some shocks back with me too, buddy. I'm gonna have to pay him for them right now too, so hopefully my credit card works.
That's
Look
the
at
rear
these.
bypass shocks.
Oh my, these things, what do each one of these shocks weigh roughly?
These are about 60 pounds.
60 pounds? No way, they gotta be heavier than that.
They're about 60.
Oh my God, I can't even pick this thing up.
Yeah, this is our
see.
biggest. This is like our biggest baddest shock.
Oh yeah, not that bad. Not that bad. But seeing this right here, oh, no more King Kong on there?
I do that on the 4.0s, but we didn't do it on the 4.5s.
Okay, okay. Yeah, they're just so beautiful.
The 4.0s, we originally named them the King Kong, but they're actually named the Kong shock.
The Kongs. So we got like the King Kongs now.
Correct.
We're gonna load these things up. I'm gonna pull my class 11. These boys got a ton of work to do. I'll go run through a couple beauty clips right now of the facility. We've shown off their engineering department and other episodes with the class 11 shock and all that good stuff. So if you guys want more content on our YouTube channel, you can scroll through it and find previous episodes with the class 11 shocks, dyno tuning shocks, and that whole build series with the Slug Shark. This is another little quick stop on the build series here at King for a vital part of how this girl's gonna handle and what we're gonna be capable of doing with these shocks and that chassis. And I am beyond excited. I don't see you can see my excitement under this mask, but I've been smiling since I got here, and this has been more than a dream come true and a blessing to work with you guys. Let's do this. We're gonna load these up. I also got some class 11 car shocks that I want to put a couple little secrets into. So we're gonna save that for the next one. Later, guys. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Uh-oh, now we're talking some more secrets on this class 11 stuff. So you can see these shocks, all these shocks probably weigh about the same as one of the rear bypasses. The 4.5s. All these little baby 2.0s though, they do a phenomenal job on the class 11, and everything in the class 11 has to be within spec. These are, I guess, I would say the king of shocks for class 11 cars, hands down. We've done really well with them. You know, it's a given that you're gonna see some shock fade at a longer race with such a small shock, and how hard we're working these things through the bumps. To find a happy medium to be able to cushion the chattery stuff, absorb the rocks, and also go through the big bumps that a class 11 faces out in deserts such as Barstow, where our last race was. And that course was brutal, man. It was so brutal. The car took its lickings, transmission, motor, everything's getting serviced. And these shocks lasted literally an entire season with just revalves. The oil looked good every time I revalved them, which was crazy to me because I know they got super hot, but the oil didn't get a real dark color to it, as if it had as if it had been just worked excessively, even though I know they were. With the valving we have in there, the bars we have in there, we're gonna try new setups. We just counted our clicks, and we're gonna basically start over with a new torsion and 300M from TCS, and then we're gonna have to kind of start over in the rear. The front, we're putting new German leafs in the front, which might give us a little more resistance, so we might have to play with a couple things on the front. Hopefully that won't be too much of a tail chaser, but it's just the process with these stock bugs.
Yeah, it's a stock bug, so it's when they say stock, they ain't kidding.
Yeah.
There ain't many stock bugs really left anymore, because through the years everybody wanted to update them, and they put longer trailing arms, or they get rid of the swing axle, and there's just not that many of the older style cars left out there.
Absolutely.
Right, because they've all been updated through the years. People, just not that many of them left.
You can go on Craigslist and find a bunch of them that have mods or fiberglass fenders, but finding that stock bug that you can turn into a class 11, if you find one and it's priced right, snag it up and hit me up, or hit up Brett, because I think they're building a class 11 too, it sounds like. And he's got some tips and tricks up his sleeve that he says they're gonna do on their car, but we'll see him in the desert, and they got a little homework to do. Luckily we got a year ahead of them, so let's bring these bad boys in and ride. I took notes of all my settings, and we're gonna change some stuff up, load these big shocks up, and then keep these wheels turning. We got to go stop by Empy and get a trailer, and then a few other avenues today before the day's over, and get my butt back home. So here's what it is. Bump stops. We came over to talk about bump stops, and they've changed the game on this recently that I was unaware of.
No, but Blake is not aware of it, but it's been something we designed 20 years ago. So it's not anything new. He's just unaware of it.
Well, I'm speaking from other manufactured bump cans, because I've bought other bump cans that haven't done this, where you have to barrel sand them after throwing a lot of heat and a lot of weld to them. So what
Lance, what my father designed, yes, 20 years ago, 25 years ago,
is different from other competitors that are selling bump cans.
Yes.
And how so? See that little lip right there? Explain to the people that.
Well, it's basically, there's more clearance in the upper half. So when you weld up here and it does warp, because it's going to get some warp from it, this bottom half, it may not get as much warp on the bottom, but if you do have to hone it, you only have to hone the bottom section. Because it fits, there's much more clearance in the upper part than there is on the lower part.
And you could feel that machined lip in there that you can see right there, to where the bottom stays tight to keep a nice tight fit on the cylinder.
Correct.
But when you put all the heat in the body, where a majority of the welding is done, if it distorts a little bit, it gives it the room to distort, and to where you don't have to stick a barrel sander.
The bump stop will still fit in, even if the upper section where you welded is warped. The bump stop still goes into the spot. That's the key. And if it does get warped, you only have to hone the bottom part.
With a
bottom inch of the cylinder. You don't have to hone the whole cylinder.
That makes it so much easier. I don't think I will ever buy anybody else's bump cans ever again, because I remember working for Kurt at PRD and him putting like on other manufacturers' bumps and bump cans. I was, take your time on paying you by the hour. Make sure they fit in there tight, but not too tight, and figure out how to get them in. And I'd go through, sometimes it was a nightmare, and it was finding where it was sticking and scratching the body up a bunch, sliding it in and out. And hopefully we don't do that with these, but a little tech tip for you guys. Sick. Those little things get me excited, Holy moly. This truck is stacked with so many shocks. Shocks on 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 shocks. Brett and his team over here are top notch. Customer service, the fact that they'll do anything to make it right, and try to get their lead times on shocks as low as possible, as fast as possible, with superior products. Someone that's been in the business for many years and is just an iconic figure, and being able to walk in here and talk with the man directly from the bottom of my heart is like dreams coming true. And I'm very fortunate, and the hard work again has led us to this point, and our partnership, getting killer deals and service on these shocks is another huge help in this entire program. So if you guys are in the market for Kings, let them know Wilkey sent you, and they'll take care of you. Jorge is usually my go-to over here, but there's a handful of these guys to where if you let them know I sent you, they'll do their best to take care of you and get you a kill deal. So much love to King. We got some TT bug shocks. Heading back to the shark den. We're gonna start cycling some stuff, tacking up bump stops, and checking shit off the list. That's a wrap for this King episode on the TT bugs package. And I need to get back to work, even though I don't want to leave this place. They also hooked it up with some gear for all the boys, and yeah, it's an exciting step for sure.